Sagicor General, wise financial thinking for life.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC Evening News. More concern tonight about children playing the Charlie Charlie Challenge game. It is said to be a simplified version of the Ouija board and summons a demon by the name of Charlie. It is for this reason that parents here in Barbados are being warned to pay closer attention to the games their children play. That message from Chief Operation Officer of Christ is the Answer Radio, Bryant Seabrooks. He says the Charlie Charlie Challenge game has driven fear throughout the Barbadian and Caribbean societies. Yesterday, a National Prayer Day was held focusing on children, particularly for that reason. The theme, Our Children. Mr. Seabrooks says parents need to monitor their children's actions.
Children are impressionable, and there are many things in this world that can make an indelible impression upon the lives of our children. We have to guard against that. Things that come through their eye gate, through their ear gate, and they enter the heart. So to guard against that, we have to have the answer or the alternative to the Charlie Challenge, which would be a Jesus challenge, so to speak. So we have to give them an option so that they don't get off into other areas, things like that. Though some may say myth, that might just be a door that may lead to other forms of illicit activities.
Environment Minister Dr. Dennis Lowe says progress is being made with the waste haulers issue. The waste haulers have been protesting the introduction of the controversial $25 per ton tipping fee. Dr. Lowe says some of the things the waste haulers asked for are being considered.
One of the waste haulers volunteered to construct an instrument for the gathering of information, and that was done. And we are working with them to get the information so as to ensure that the outcome is best suited for all parties. Because in the beginning, the small waste haulers thought that their concerns were not best reflected in the arrangement that was made between the waste haulers and government.
Dr. Lowe was speaking at the West Terrace Primary School, where he toured the school's water project and garden, which was done by the 4-H Club. The minister told students the viability and sustainability of the island will depend upon the attitudes of people towards waste management. With that in mind, he isn't happy with coconut vendors leaving coconut shells on the roads.
The coconut vendors, I am not happy with what they're doing. And I can't for the life of me understand how you could come, make your money, and then leave your waste behind for somebody to clean up behind you, and don't want to foot any bill for it. It is not fair. It is not fair in a society that is striving to become a first world society.
With this year's sugar crop into its final weeks, the 2015 harvest has so far produced just under 8,000 tons of sugar. And news is that 4 plantations have already completed harvesting of canes for this year's crop. Peter Thorne has this update.
Sugar officials have told CBC that up to Sunday, May 31st, the harvest had produced 7,837 tons of sugar from 84,761 tons of canes that were processed. It has taken just under 11 tons of canes to make a ton of sugar, which is less than desirable and is above the usual amount at the start of the crop. Sugar officials say drier conditions have prevailed in the past few weeks, and they are hoping this will continue for the remainder of the crop, which is expected to finish at the end of June. Sugar officials were hoping to produce around 12,000 tons of sugar, but they now believe the total will be around 10,500 tons. The sole operating factory for this year's crop is Port Vale, which has been suffering from boil tube problems. 4 plantations have already completed grinding for this year's crop. They are Brighton, Draxall, and the Valley in St. George, along with layers in St. Michael. Barbados is expected to make its only shipment of sugar to the European Union at the end of the crop. Peter Thorne, CBC News.
The Department of Emergency Management is starting to roll out elements of its 2015 public awareness campaign, especially for the business and hotel sectors. Officer in charge of the DEM, Kerry Hines, gave details at yesterday's news conference at the start of the 2015 Atlantic hurricane season.
For example, we have library displays. We have an open day here at the Department of Emergency Management aimed at sensitizing the schools. We also have various talks and preparedness sessions. We had one just last week with the Small Business Association. We also have a number of interactions with the tourism sector, the various hotels. So we will ensure that we are out there in the public domain.
A senior official at the Met Office is concerned Barbadians will pay less attention to preparations for the hurricane season this time around, following predictions of a below-active season this year. But Deputy Director Sonia Nurse is warning the public not to focus on the numbers and prepare for the worst. The latest forecast from the Met Office is for 8 named storms, 3 to become hurricanes, with 1 major hurricane, Category 3 or above. Ms. Nurse reminds Barbadians that last year, Hurricane Bertha passed just north of Barbados, causing structural damage in nearby Martinique, the Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico, while Hurricane Gonzalo did damage in the Leewards and was reportedly responsible for 3 deaths in St. Martin.
So the above examples demonstrate why we should not focus on numbers and why we should continue to prepare for any eventuality. This would involve obtaining basic emergency supplies, carrying out any necessary repairs to property, and listening to forecasts on a regular basis as issued by the Barbados Meteorological Services.
We'll have more news in just a moment, but first we want to get your take on this question. Do you think parents are taking concerns about the Charlie Challenge seriously? Text yes or no to short code 8111. We'll have the results at the end of the news.
This house was first purchased by the Robinsons, who then sold it to Indra Ford in 2007. She loved baking, but last year she forgot to turn off the stove. Luckily, Sagicor General was there to help rebuild. So now, the house will smell of sweetbread again for a long, long time. We know this house, like we know every house we insure. Across the land, throughout the region, we've been there. Sagicor General, wise financial thinking for life.
It's Whopper Wednesday at Burger King. Get one of our amazing Whoppers with an ice-cold 16-ounce Coca-Cola for only $12.95 and a delicious turtle pie for free. If that isn't a deal, I don't know what is. Whopper is now Wednesday's King of the Day. Visit www.burgerkingbarbados.com for more details. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
Community Files.
The Ministry of Environment is encouraging everyone to wear green on World Environment Day on Friday, June 5th. Wear Green Day is one of the activities for Environment Week, which will be celebrated from June 1st to June 7th, under the theme, Living Sustainably is Consuming with Care.
The excitement of the NBA Finals is coming to CBC TV8. Starting June 4th is Game 1 of the best-of-7 series between the Cleveland Cavaliers and Golden State Warriors. Go to cbc.bb for the schedule of games and airtimes. The big NBA Finals. Cavs, Warriors, live on TV8.
Make no mistake, when you're looking for the #1 source of the latest business news in Barbados, the region, and beyond, it has to be The Bottom Line, produced and presented by me, Ryan Broom, every weekday morning on CBC's 94.7 FM at 7:50 a.m. It comes to you with the kind compliments of the Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union Limited, reminding you to save smart and borrow smarter. So remember, make it your business to tune into The Bottom Line, the best source for business news on the radio.
Look out for a local fashion designer on an international reality show soon. It's just one of many big opportunities for a former fashion design student at the Samuel Jackman Prescott Polytechnic. Instructor at the Polytechnic, Joy Prime, could not reveal the name of the show, but says the hard work of student Marva White-Jessamy has paid off immensely over the last few months. It started with a showing at a New York Fashion Week event.
Marva was very lucky. This was her very first major international show, and she was very lucky to attract a buyer. And it's a small order, but it's an order, and it's the beginning. Yeah. And so this is something, again, we have to work with Marva to support her through that process of now taking her business to another level, where she now has to look at production and actually sales and distribution, and how to do that on an international scale.
Ms. Prime was speaking at a thank you function at the Polytechnic for a number of sponsors who helped White-Jessamy on her journey. Some of the pieces that earned her the trip to New York Fashion Week were also on display. SJPP Principal Hector Bell says the students' hard work should be emulated by others.
We are a small country. We have limited physical resources, but we are bound with human resources. And I'm quite sure that is the way to go. What we have to do now from the Polytechnic perspective is ensure that we deliver a higher level of training, which will be able to build on the foundation set by Marva, so at least future students who come to us, and I'm thinking of persons from other parts of the world, not just Barbados, when they come to us, they will be coming to us knowing that what we are giving them is of international standards, something which the whole world will be looking forward to.
Director of the School of Education at the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus, Babalola Ogunkola, sees a need for teachers to get more up to date with what's happening around them. In some cases, Mr. Ogunkola says students are more familiar with the latest developments than teachers. However, he says there will be new frameworks to address the situation.
The people that are teaching presently, possibly some went to school when we did not have this technological influence as we have today. But the children are going to school presently. So it means that we need to find ways by which teachers can teach. We need to find ways by which teachers can be developed also in those areas so as to teach the students.
Mr. Ogunkola was speaking at a UE School of Education biannual conference held at the Accra Beach Hotel. Over the next few days, the discussions will focus on the theme, Transforming Education, New Framework and Alliance. A number of presentations will be done in different areas of education. Senior lecturer in policy and planning at UE Cave Hill, Dr. Jennifer Obida, says studying humanities is just as important as science and mathematics.
If everyone went into science and math, what would happen to the rest of society? Many times things happen in society and people tend to think, oh, let's go for what's current, what's trending right now. We have a dearth of math and science teachers. I agree with that. But at the same time, we need the humanities. We need people to be able to think critically about what they do. We need to be able to respond to the issues of today. The world is changing, and it's not only about science and technology. It's about how people think about their lives.
Appeals are being made for more Barbadian men to come out and get PSA tests done. That test is done on males as an attempt to determine whether they have prostate cancer. President of Cancer Support Services, Kathy Ann Springer, made the appeal as that association recently offered discounted testing to the public. Ms. Springer described the response as pleasing.
Our numbers are like over 50, something over 80, something even over 100. So I'm just putting the plea out there when we're advertising our PSA testing. We just want as much men to come out and be able to be tested.
Meantime, nurse on hand for the testing, Mutual Archer, explained it was important for males of African descent to get tested early.
Prostate cancer initially, when you're 50 years old, it will probably take your test. No, it's coming to 35 because you see more and more men developing prostate cancer. So I think in that light, prostate testing should be for every Barbadian male who's over 36, 35 years old.
At least one local entertainment company is using celebrity power to push Barbados. Fantasy Barbados has adopted this strategy to give the island and its artists maximum exposure on the world stage. Lisa Lord has more.
Fantasy Barbados says it understands the concept of celebrity tourism, and there is no denying the push stars can give the island. The company has been working with several celebrities over the past few years, having them attend their various events and jumping in their band on Kudumant Day. Last year, former Scandal actor Columbus Short joined the Fantasy, and this year it's Soraya McNeil, who is better known as Tiana Brown on the hit TV series Empire. Trevor Priddy has been working with Fantasy for about 5 years.
The thing about having a celebrity coming to Barbados and international media is instant gratification. That you get the benefit at the same time.
Patricia Machino, a journalist with Billboard magazine who has been covering events on the island since the 1990s, describes Barbados as a place that is musically rich and diverse.
I'm happy to be here to write articles in a platform like Billboard that, has a lot of industry influence and get that word out to the people that, yes, they know of, a certain megastar that comes from here, but there's so much more.
The woman behind the Fantasy Barbados is Amanda Reefer. She says they will be hosting a dinner tonight at the Mount Gay Visitors Center to honor women in entertainment locally, regionally, and internationally.
It's an opportunity for people to come to actually mingle and ask questions and really get some insight into different aspects of the business. So for me, this is the business of entertainment. I am the administrative, for lack of a better term, side of it in terms of the business. There's the artistic side. There are makeup artists coming, there are designers coming. So for anyone that's interested in any aspect of entertainment, this is a great opportunity to actually mingle and liaise and interact.
Sharon Carpenter, who is a TV presenter with BET and the BBC, believes that women in the industry need to come together.
It's tough being a woman in the entertainment world, and for us to be able to get together and share our stories is very, very important. A lot of young women come to me all the time and ask my advice and ask for mentorship from me. So whenever I can give back and give my advice on how to make it in the entertainment world, then I take up the opportunity.
And Tiana from Empire, who has been in Barbados for the past few days attending several fantasy events, says she is thankful for the opportunity to be in the island.
I come from a big city but a small place, and to see myself here, especially in this island, doing these things and really moving people and seeing my fans and wanting to take pictures, it's something I've dreamed of my whole life. So I'm just really, really grateful to be here and humbled and blessed, and thank you so much.
About 30 women in entertainment will be celebrated at tonight's dinner. Lisa Lord, CBC News.
Still to come, a look at